Hello and welcome to The Banker's View from Sibos 2019. I'm Joy Macknight, Managing Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Anthony Barnett, CEO of Afghanistan International Bank, to talk about operating in a challenging environment. Anthony, thanks so much for joining me. So can you tell me what are the big challenges to operating in a frontier market like Afghanistan?
The challenges in running the bank itself are not dissimilar to many countries. And we have physical problems with security, and obviously we look a little bit more like a fortress than most banks do. But the bank's built up more of its reputation around being honest and ethical within that environment. And that's allowed us to be successful domestically and internationally. So we've been in operation now for 14 years. So we've got fairly used to working in the conditions that we work in. Kabul is easier than some of the cities. We have to close branches occasionally for a little bit too much terrorist activity. But the city is fairly relatively easy to work in. The issues that affect us most are probably physical. Okay. Getting people to work, getting ladies to work, scanning customers when they come in, doing checks on cars. But the banking otherwise is straightforward and not dissimilar to many parts of the developing economy.
But how is the US-China trade dispute sort of having an impact on Afghanistan?
It's just not affecting us.
Okay.
As you're well aware, we are an importer of everything. Iran affects us far more than the US-China trade. The only thing that the bank benefits from is the interest rates getting driven down, because we have a very large bond portfolio, which we've been taking some profits from, but directly, very little change.
Okay. But there has been some issues around the corresponding banking network. There's been a lot of de-risking. How has that impacted the banking system in Afghanistan?
The income is very dependent on the flow of paying for imports into Afghanistan. We probably handle payments for about 80% of the imports coming in. So it's very important to us to have good corresponding bank network. The bank itself, we have very few issues. One of the leading banks who we're talking to yesterday said to me, your AML FCC is much better than many of our correspondent banks. And we've spent a lot of time with Standard & Chartered, Citibank, Deloitte, bringing that up to international standards. The problem is Afghanistan. So when people's boards of directors see a country that is fourth from the bottom on the AML table, natural reaction is to stay away. We do have the ability to do full dollar clearing, so that may get better. But we've had problems with banks who locally have been working with us very diligently and then receive instructions from head office, no more dealing in Afghanistan. Luckily, we've always had a backup in place, so we've been able to offer or keep the same payments going.
But what about the challenge with financial inclusion in the country? How are you addressing that?
I think the World Bank and the central bank have a program to try and improve it. We watch carefully, but it's not our marketplace. There are no retail consumer products that you can sell. So just increasing our deposit base by banking the lower part of the market doesn't really help us.
Well, what about financial inclusion, let's say, for SMEs?
We have some good guarantee programs for SMEs. The problem is not so much getting some lines for SMEs, but with our economy where it is, the people at the bottom of that pyramid have suffered a lot. So we've had issues with lending to SMEs. Some customers have been with us 4 or 5 years and are now running into problems. They don't have the strength and reserves that the big companies do to survive. So we've been watching it. We can offer all the products that are required, but it's taking a long time to manage small risks. And one RM can manage 500,000 or 5 million. So it's not cost effective to have to do workouts on the small SMEs.
Okay.
So they are suffering.
So quite a few challenges still remain, but obviously you've been here at Sibos for this week. Obviously met a lot of your banking partners. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, but thank you so much for your insights, Anthony.
Thank you. Glad to help.